Welcome back to Coding Goblin, and welcome to...
Some people take a month to build a simple website. If this sounds like you need to get your head right. This used to be me and it pushed me to my limit. To prove you don't need to do this, watch me build a website in 21 minutes.
Wow, that was lovely. Just quickly, before I smash out this website in 21 minutes, something to bear in mind while watching this video. If you like what you see, click the like button, and then click the subscribe button. If you don't like what you see, take no further action. That's enough waffling, let's get into it. So, that is me starting the timer. I thought I would film it this way, where I talk about what I'm doing, rather than try and film it and talk at the same time, because let's be real, if I was going to do that, it would take way longer than 21 minutes. So that's what we're doing. So here we have it. I am just installing Tailwind and Alpine into my project. So it's a completely blank project. It's literally just an index.php file. I'm doing this on localhost using MAMP. So that's good for everyone to know. So here's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna create a sections folder, which you can see, and then in the sections folder, I'm gonna put each section. So the first section I'm making is a hero, and I'm just gonna include it in the main index.php. The reason I'm doing that is it makes it a lot more organized. It makes it easier to stay on top of it, rather than having one huge file with all of your sections in. It's gonna get very messy. So I'm just in Tailkit here, the component library, Tailwind component library, and I'm finding a hero. So I found one that I think looks reasonable, and I'm just going to paste the code from Tailkit straight into my project. And then if we go to my website here, you'll see that it's in there. So that's nice. How easy is that? How quick? How easy is that? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out their logo with my own logo. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to figure out where the logo goes. And I've got a feeling I mess up here. So yeah, I messed it up, put it in the wrong place, but we sort it. So the point I'm trying to make in this video is, if it takes you a long time to build websites, and I mean, when I say a long time, I mean days, weeks, or months even, there's a strong chance it's because you're procrastinating and you're not actually working and focusing on what you should be working on and focusing on. So what I'm trying to prove the point of is you can do a lot in a very short amount of time. 21 minutes is a bit extreme, probably. Like, you'd want to take more care than I'm taking here, because I'm just literally, I'm taking a bit of care, to be fair. I mean, when you see the end result, it looks good. It looks decent, in my opinion. Not that I can take too much credit for it, because it's all because of Tailkit. Thanks, Tailkit, by the way. If you're interested in using Tailkit for yourself, I'm going to put a link in the description of this video so you can check that out for yourself. But what I'm doing, you can do with any component library. It doesn't have to be Tailkit. Tailkit is a paid for component library. There are free ones, so Daisy UI, you can use that. There's loads of them. There are loads. I like Tailkit because, firstly, it looks amazing. Secondly, it's so easy to use. When you see what I'm doing on here, you'll see how easy it is. It's just really well thought out. You'll see. There are so many components that you can make your website look exactly how you want. If you've got an image in your head of how you want your website to look, I don't personally ever have an image in my head because there's not much going on in there. But if you do, the chances are there's going to be a component that pretty much matches that, and you can always just tweak the components as well, which I suggest you do to make them a bit more personalized to your website. So it's really good, basically. To sum up, Tailkit is very good. So what I'm doing here is I've just put in my own logo and I just changed the size of it so it looks a bit better because it was too small before. And I'm just going through the text and changing the text that they've got there, the default dummy text, with my own. So I'm just putting a bit about myself. Well, I'm just saying I make YouTube videos. You can see, you can read. You don't need me to say that. But yeah, it makes it so easy. So easy. The fact that I can make a website in 21 minutes kind of says it all. If you're spending weeks building a website, ask yourself, what are you doing in that time? What are you focusing on? Is it because you're designing and writing in the copy at the same time? Or is it because there are tasks that you know you should be doing, but they take too much brain power, so you avoid them and instead you just tweak things? Because I used to do it. I've been there. I'm not kind of sitting on my high horse being like, oh, I'm better than you, even though I probably am. No, I'm joking, obviously. It's, yeah, lost my train of thought. This is the problem. I have to do this in one take. Normally, I cut out my nonsense. I know a lot of you really hate the way I cut up my videos and just cut the time in between me speaking. You hate it, which is quite funny, because I think it makes the videos a lot better. And the reason for that is because I see the raw footage and it's just me going, it's pretty horrible to watch. So what was I talking about again? Yeah, what are you focusing on? Are you procrastinating? Because I used to do it. I've been there. And you end up losing motivation, and quite often, if it's a project of your own, you just give up on it or forget about it. I've got so many websites that I've started and I've just forgotten about them. If I go into my folders of websites that I've forgotten about, it's just full of just so many ideas. A lot of them are good ideas that if you just banged out a website, it has every chance, but you just end up giving up on them. So the reason I focus so heavily on speed is to not lose motivation. If you can bang out a website in a day, even, that's a good amount of time. 20 minutes is extreme, but in a few hours or a day, that's good. Then, you know, you're onto a winner. What I've just done there, by the way, which I think looks pretty good, is I've embedded one of my YouTube videos in the hero image. So instead of the hero image, there's a YouTube video, which I think is quite nice. Yeah, and now I'm just gonna make another section, and that is a more videos section. So it's gonna be, well, you're gonna see for yourself, but it's gonna be a little block with a few more videos and a nice little effect, because Tailkit's amazing and it makes it look good. 7.5 minutes in, and we've done our hero. And I think it looks good. I think it looks really good, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit biased. So the reason I'm doing this video, firstly, it's because I wanted to do a video, but secondly, I'm going to rebuild my own website. And I thought this would be a good trial run to see what I could achieve, what I could make it look like. Because at the moment, it's geared up to offering web development services. And to be honest with you, I don't get work through that website. I get it through my other business website. So I think I'm going to change my strategy and make my codinggoblin.com website more of a personal website. So more about YouTube, more about blog posts, more about myself. So rather than trying to get work through it, that form of work anyway, not web development, but use it for myself. And I think it will serve me better that way, because no one really goes to my homepage. I get a lot of traffic to my blog posts. So I've got tutorials and, well, tutorials. So I'm gonna focus more on that. So make it geared up towards my YouTube channel and the tutorials. Anyway, what are we doing here? So I've just saved some images from my YouTube channel. How good's that, by the way? Look, I didn't even know you could do this. I just wanted still images, and I saved the thumbnail images. That's what I thought I was doing, saving the images from my YouTube channel. And turns out they're like little GIFs, whatever you say. I say GIF. People that used to be like a battle back in the day. Young people probably don't remember that, but it was kind of a GIF versus GIF situation. Weird, I don't know why. I always said GIF. So look what happens. These images are moving images, which is quite nice. A nice little surprise. Didn't know they did that. You probably knew that. But I just walk around with my eyes shut all the time. I don't know anything, so it's actually quite upsetting. So yeah, I'm just including those WebP images in the website. So they look a little bit rubbish. See them moving? But they look a bit rubbish because they're the wrong size. So I'm just gonna now make them full width. So I just use the Tailwind class W-full, and you can see that's worked on the middle image. So it just stretches them out 100%. So I'm just going and doing that to each of the images, which is very handy. Tailwind, so good. You're obviously aware of that. I don't think you'd be watching this if you weren't into Tailwind, or maybe you're just trying to get into it. But Tailwind is one of those things that changed web development, I would say. It's so powerful. I know some people don't like it. They think it makes the markup look messy. And it does, I get that. But once you're used to it, I don't think there's any going back. There's no going back. And you see here, I'm using a extension called inline fold, and that basically condenses all your classes down. It hides them. See the 3 dots? It just hides them. So you don't have to look at all those classes, and you can see what's going on. But if you're not using that, I can imagine it would be a little bit difficult to see what's going on. But yeah, you know it's good. I know it's good. It's good. So well done, Tailwind. Well done. You did a good thing. You did a good thing. I think, yeah, it makes you look good, basically. You don't have to be talented. I don't think I'm particularly talented at web development, but it makes you look like you're talented. You can make stuff look good. So congratulations to them, because they've made a lot of people a lot of money. So anyway, sidetracked. What I'm doing here is I'm just getting the URLs for the videos, the more videos section. So I'm just going to link to those so that when you click on the view video button, which I may have created or I may be about to create. Oh, I'm doing it now. So that it will take you to those videos. So this isn't the greatest website in the world. I haven't thought out the content particularly. I just wanted to make it, you know, look nice, have a bit of information on there. I didn't want to put dummy content in there. So I didn't want to just make a lorem ipsum type website, because anyone can do that quickly. I get that. That's not necessarily what makes a website take a long time to do. Sorry, excuse me. It can be the content basically that takes a while to do. So I wanted to do the code and the content at the same time, just to show that it is possible to make a website quickly. Because I know a lot of people could be like, oh yeah, you just copied a template in and then you've left the dummy text in there. It's no good. And I would agree with you, it wouldn't be any good to do that. So that's why I wanted to use a component library and put my text in there and my own images and content. So I think that goes a long way to just proving the point of how easy it is to build with speed when you've got the right tools, especially. So if you were doing this from scratch without a UI library, yeah, absolutely, it would take longer. I still don't think it should be taking you weeks and months, but maybe a couple of days. If you find yourself taking days and days and days, then I think you need to ask yourself some serious questions about where you are, like in your mind. Don't want to get too deep, but are you avoiding difficult things? Because from personal experience, I know when I've taken a long time to do stuff, anything, but website stuff in particular, not in particular, but including website stuff, it's because I'm avoiding the difficult task or the task that I'm daunted by. So yeah, ask yourself, is that what you're doing? Are you scared to make your website go live as well? That used to be a thing I'd put off. I wouldn't make my website I wouldn't make my website live. I would just keep on building it locally, keep on tweaking things, changing the color here and there, tweak the logo, tweak the text, just constantly tweaking. Who am I tweaking it for? Who? Because it's not even live. Silly, really. So once you can get over that and you realize, oh, no one can even see this website, and then you just make it live, it gets your priorities sorted. You realize what's important. If you've got a live website, people can then see it, obviously, but no one's going to be seeing it on day one because it's not going to be coming up in Google that quickly. But if you can get it live as soon as possible, then you get clarity in your mind. You think, oh, okay, people can see this. Is this good content or is it absolutely awful? Is this title just rammed in here because I needed a title? Or should I actually put a bit of thought into it and put something that makes sense and create a website that people are actually going to visit and spend time on reading it? So it gives you that clarity, and it makes you get rid of sections that you might have put in just because they look nice, and it makes you have just the essential information there. And then once you've got that essential information, you can build on it. You need to start somewhere. So even if you just have a website, a one-page website, simple hero, simple footer, and one section, that is better than having a website in development mode on your local machine with 20 sections, loads of dummy content in some of them. Some sections are filled out, some bits have got your images in, some have got dummy images. That is just a waste of time. Don't do that. You're better off having a very simple, very stripped back website live with real information, real content on, than having no live website with loads of content that isn't relevant. Or no live website with loads of relevant content. You're better having something live because then it's at least working, doing something for you. It's building up credibility with Google in theory, and you're actually making progress and you get clarity, like I said. So that was a bit of a rant, but if you're still watching what I'm actually doing on the screen, I've been building a few different sections. So I'm just doing a stats section now. I personally hate these because quite often this is the sort of component where people, this is the sort of component where people cram it into their website because it looks good. And they just put ridiculous information in there, like 2,500 cups of coffee drunk, and just stuff that people do not care about. And it's just a section quite often to fill up space, to make it look like there's more to your website than needs to be. I wouldn't bother. Just don't bother. If you have bits like that, get rid of them. Just get to the point. People appreciate that, and it just improves the quality. So that's my opinion. Someone who knows more than me might have a different opinion and know that there's a good reason to have that. But unless you have genuine stats, don't bother. Like, even that, I mean, there are genuine stats, I think. I can't remember what I put there, but I don't know. It's up to you at the end of the day, but make them count. Make the space on your website count. So we're getting there. Last section, footer. Just wanted something really simple. Yeah, I couldn't actually find the footer section in SailKit, and then I did. That was a really good story. So we're getting there, basically. We're approaching the 21-minute mark. So that means we're basically done. So I think I've proved the point at this point. You don't need to spend all that long on a website. You really don't. It's different if you're building it for a client and you've got designs to work from, then it takes as long as it takes. But if it's a website for yourself and it's a side project or some sort of software as a service, then don't spend too long. If you're just trying to bang out ideas and you're trying to get something working, then it's more important to get something live as soon as possible than to get something perfect or get something that you've tweaked about 100 times. Get something sorted and you can tweak it in the future. Trust me, I've been there. It's painful. You make no progress. Yeah, I've been there. So we're getting there. As you can see, the camera or the screen recording glitched out at this point. So I don't know if we're going to get to see the final result here. Yeah, it froze at 20 minutes and 57 seconds. That was ideal, wasn't it? So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut here and we're going to take a look together and see the final outcome. Hello again, long time no see. Right, here is the final result of the website. As I mentioned just then, the camera did glitch out and froze, but you know that I was good for it. I got to the 20-minute mark, 21-minute mark, and it was done. It was just the footer. I was just faffing around with that, and then for some reason it all froze. But let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got a lovely little hero section here, and we've got some information. So we'll go through and click these buttons in a second just to prove the point that it works. Look, a nice embedded YouTube video. That's oh, that's good, isn't it? Look at that. Look, whoever made that is so talented. So talented. Okay, enough of that. So we've got that, and then we've got this more video section here. Quite nice. So I put the titles of the videos in that bit. I would probably, if I was going to do this again, I would probably not have these moving WebP images. I'd probably have the actual thumbnail for the video. I think that'd be better. Or at least start with the actual thumbnail and then have the video play. But I don't think it's terrible. But that's something I would tweak. I talk about tweaking and not tweaking, but sometimes you can tweak it and then it's worth doing it. If it's something quick and you know exactly what you're going to have the outcome as. Okay, so now we've got this testimonial section. Quite nice, I think. Very simple. Very simple indeed. And then we've got the stats section, which I mentioned that I wasn't a massive fan of, but I think it looks nice still. I would probably not have that, but I know people like them. And then we've got a very simple footer. You didn't get to see that before because it glitched out. So that's the website. And then if we want to shrink it down, you can see how it looks on mobile. Oh, that's a bit gank there. Yeah, so I need to probably add some sort of responsiveness to that, but you get the point. Got these here again. Very nice indeed. Pleasant. And then if we click on some of these links, it should take you to YouTube, providing I put in the right, yep, I did put the right address in. Wonderful, wonderful. So that is about it. Just proving the point that you can make a website very quickly. I don't want to keep repeating myself, so I'm not going to. Check out Tailkit, link in the description. Remember to subscribe. The end.